Welcome to the Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami, George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Spotlight High School Football 5A Semis. Pine Richland 34, Cocalico 12. 11th straight win for the Rams. At quarterback, Ryan Palmieri, 9 for 10, 201 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 73 yards rushing and a TD. Running back, Ethan Pillar, 101 yards rushing and a touchdown. And wide receiver, Bradford Gelly, 3 catches, 126 yards and a touchdown. Next up for Pine, the championship versus Imhotep Charter, 11-2. That'll be at Cumberland Valley. Pine Richland looking for their 3rd state championship.
Yeah, that change is still the thing I can't get over. I'd like to know if he was a quarterback in junior high or not. I'd like somebody get a hold of the show that.
Yeah, 9 for 10. He's not just tossing
just running around. And they never even thought about him being a quarterback at the beginning of the year. That's why I like to know more behind the scenes. What made them think, okay, he's not a quarterback.
Right, and then you add the other dimension, the running back Pillar, who's good. So now you have the run-pass option. They focus on Palmieri, he hands it off to Pillar.
Yeah, but he was a runner. The point is,
yeah,
this guy, he played all this time and he wasn't a quarterback?
I don't know.
That's my question.
Yeah, I understand.
Maybe he was a running back all the way through, like junior high, all the way up.
Yeah.
And they said, let's try him a quarterback out of nowhere. Or was he a quarterback this whole time? And they said,
unless they did some type of a halfback option, he threw the ball and they said, wow, he's got a pretty good arm.
Something happened.
Something happened. Well, I don't know much about Imhotep Charter except I know they have athletes.
I always do in basketball for sure. So
they're there in football all the time too.
Yeah, so they're going to be.
They're both ways. It's a charter, whatever you call it, school that gets players like.
Yeah, and it's
they'll have some Division Ones. I guarantee you that.
Absolutely. And in 6A, here's a shocker: St. Joe Prep 11-1 takes on Harrisburg 11-2.
Harrisburg got State College that second time. They got beat the first time.
Yes, and in 4A, Aliquippa 13-0. Facing Bishop McDevitt, 12-1. We know McDevitt's always been good through the years. This should be quite a battle.
That one interests me more than anything else. Because McDevitt has always been a powerhouse.
Yeah, that's the good McDevitt. That's Harrisburg.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we got Aliquippa, who's up in class, graduating 50 kids, playing McDevitt.
Right.
It's going to be interesting.
And headed in the coming years to the Big Ten.
Absolutely. I don't go against them.
No. In a 3A, Bell Vernon 11-2 versus Newman Goretti 10-3. Another battle here.
Yeah, Bell Vernon really got stuffed offensively last game, and that hasn't happened to them all year. If that team's good, they'll beat Bell Vernon.
Central Martinsburg.
They're good every year.
They ended on the 15th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Goretti's always good.
Oh yeah.
And in 2A, Westinghouse 14-0 versus Southern Columbia 12-3. Westinghouse 26-7 over Steel Valley. And let me say this about Coach Donta Green. He's old school. The players have to dress up. Not allowed to use profanity or swearing or anything. This is a guy, more coaches needed like him in the inner city. The job he's doing leading these young men, you can't pay him enough.
Forget the word, take inner city out.
Yeah.
More coaches needed around the country.
But especially in areas like that where they've had to struggle. And
I'll take it around the country. I root for Westinghouse anytime.
Especially this week.
They become my
Columbia
check mark team.
And the same thing with the coach at Aliquippa. What a great job he does in leading.
But his language is atrocious. I Warfield, good coach.
Yeah,
but he doesn't do it his way.
No,
Warfield can't say a sentence without the F word.
I didn't know that.
His tirades at half times are on the air. So the guy from Westinghouse does it the right way.
The right way.
And it's proof. Here's the proof of the pudding. They're winning. Well, somebody says, "I don't think kids."
They're going to lose this week. Yeah,
you discipline the kids, and they're not going to play for you. It's the biggest joke in the world.
And he's got a great situation there because there are only a couple of schools left. And I have to assume that any kid with athletic ability looks and says, Alderdice, I'll play basketball. Westinghouse, I'll play football. I really believe that.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Put an end to the urban myth. Well, black coach, all black players, they're not disciplined. And that's a joke.
That's back in 1700. So that's what it said. It's stupidity. What it is. Somebody even thinks it's stupid.
Yeah, but you know that's out there. Yes. You know that exists.
Absolutely. That's why when they roll a team like that, you look and you say,
I'm very happy.
There you go.
I'm very happy.
I mean, you can have this.
I'll tell you one. Of all the teams, George just said it. About 6 classifications, the team two teams I'm rooting for the most are Union, which is my team,
Yes.
but Westinghouse. I'm hoping Westinghouse beats Southern Columbia so badly.
They never
Yeah.
move them up. They get 8 state titles. I mean, if it's called the success factor,
Thanks, George. Thanks,
it's not
George.
called the you live in an urban area and get screwed factor.
Right.
Eloquippa.
Farrell.
Farrell.
Eloquippa both.
Yes.
Hey, it's high school basketball.
Yeah.
Sure is. Top scorers, girls, Amelia McMichael of Butler 22, Elena Rocco, North Catholic 21. For boys, Tassos Stefanos of Mars 34 and 33, Max Hurley of North Catholic 27 and 30, Ryan Say of Mars 21, Mars loaded again, Peyton Johnson of Union Reimersburg 21, Jay Clover AC Valley 21, Matt Ellery of North Catholic 20, Shane Peters of Karn City 20, and Skylar Roxbury of Union Reimersburg 20. Here we go, off and running. Basketball here already. Hey, honors girls soccer, Piper Caulfield of Mars. She's the Butler County Soccer Player of the Year. She's also made the Post-Gazette WPL All-Area team. She scored 24 goals this year, 62 for her career. She's headed to Indiana, the Big Ten. Her sister, Ellie, is a star for Pitt. Also making the PG All-Star All-Area team, Gwen Howe of Mars. She's a 4-year starter. She's headed to Richmond. And Lucia Wells of North Allegheny. She's the WPIAL leading scorer 4A with 29 goals, 80 in her career. And in boys soccer honors, Bo Lazuski of Seneca Valley, named the Post-Gazette WPIAL Soccer Player of the Year. And he's also the Butler County Player of the Year. He's All-State 2021 and 2022. And how about Butler grad Ethan Morton with 19 assists and 10 rebounds? He helped Purdue win the Phil Knight basketball tournament in Portland, Oregon, and got a lot of praises his way from Jay Billis.
Absolutely. You're at the top of the top where he is. You don't get any
When
better.
you get guys like Jay Billis talking about
Yeah,
you, then,
well, when you
then
beat
you,
Duke, yeah.
you've impressed someone.
And when you beat Duke, you're not too far from the top.
There's a kid that understands the gravity of everything. Top student.
Yes.
Went to Purdue because they offered him not only a scholarship but things he wanted to do in life. You know, somebody might want to copy Ethan Morton.
And fits the role. You know, he's not out there shooting trays.
No.
He's dishing it off. He's playing defense. He's getting key rebounds.
I bet that's the truth because they could play anything but a 2-3 zone with him in the middle in high schools. They were afraid of him fouling out.
Right.
He's, in this painter, they go hard.
You know, what's interesting, and George just led to that. You watch him play at Purdue, they probably thought maybe he averaged 8 a game in high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scored 2,000 points. That's how great the players are in college.
Yeah, without question.
My goodness.
Let's go to our stories of the week. In the NFL, the Steelers 19, Atlanta 16, a second straight win for the Steelers. First this year. 4 field goals from Matthew Wright, 46, 46, 48, and 33 yards. Najee Harris picked up 86 yards rushing. The Steelers picked up 154 yards rushing and 4.2 average, and yet Atlanta still ran the ball on the Steelers for 146 yards and average 5.2. They had what appeared to be the winning touchdown called back on a holding call, and the Steelers held on for the win. Pickett with a touchdown pass, no interceptions, I believe, for the third straight game. So we look around the AFC North, guys. There's Baltimore, 8-4, 10-9 win over Denver, 8-4. Lamar, knee injury first quarter, did not return. Tyler Huntley, who you like, he came through for them, ran 2 yards for the touchdown. But this team's puzzling. They've blown 3 fourth quarter leads.
Big ones.
Just 2 weeks ago, Jacksonville went, 92 yards in the final minute and a half to beat them 28-27.
And got the 2 point.
And
like
got
it
the
was
2
nothing,
point.
yeah.
So when you look at them 8-4 and Cincy 8-4 at the top, those are 2 completely different 8-4 records.
Why they're playing the way they're playing right now.
One's
no doubt
going up,
about it.
one's going
Yeah.
down. No, you're absolutely right. The schedule's murder for Cincinnati if they navigate.
That's the advantage Baltimore has. Cincinnati's schedule is very difficult. Baltimore. I'm talking about on paper.
Yeah.
The Baltimore schedule is much easier.
Well, Cincy with a second straight win over the Chiefs, Burrows 286 yards. The return of Jamar Chase, he caught 7 for 96 yards. The most unheralded player I've seen this year is the running back, Samar J. Pirine, 101 yards rushing. He does everything. And when he gets on the outside, they throw him those flare passes. He's one tough guy to bring down.
Oh, yeah.
He was good at Oklahoma, and he's going to the bench again. That's what's interesting.
Yeah,
Mixon's coming back.
Mixon back.
Nice to have him as a backup, though. And then Cleveland 27, Houston 14, Cleveland 5 and 7. 2 defensive touchdowns to Deshaun Watson.
Ugly offense.
Yeah, ugly offense.
Ugly offense.
And
George called that. George said Watson would struggle coming back.
Yeah.
Told me
Oh, yeah.
all along. No, he didn't struggle.
He was
pathetic.
I didn't watch
telling
the
you,
game.
More balls. They said he threw more sliders in the dirt than he.
Oh.
He was truly looked like the quarterback from Clemson, the ukulele.
Well, he hadn't played.
He was throwing the ball right into the
He
ground.
hadn't played in 2 full years.
2 full years.
He
Right into
played
the ground.
5 plays exhibition. He was awful in that game.
So you have Baltimore 8 and 4, Cincy 8 and 4, the Browns 5 and 7, the Steelers 5 and 7. So Baltimore at the Steelers. This could be a game that the World Cup teams could be envious of.
You know they're
it could be a
favored by field goal.
12-9. I'm seeing a 12-9 game here.
How not?
It's on paper like that.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Because Pittsburgh, one thing, those two like to beat each other up.
Yeah.
Neither team has any offense. You could see them.
Yeah, and both teams need a
You
passport
could
to
see
get into the end zone.
14-11.
Yeah. Who's
Pittsburgh.
favored by 3?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Pittsburgh has an MO. What the word is? They've thought about their team. They're telling, don't turn the ball over. So Pickett throws the ball away a lot.
Yeah.
And number 2, red zone defense. If they want to move that's the new thing today. And
20s.
20 to 20, and let's say make them kick field goals.
Which
That's
is
the
an
game.
anomaly for them. The red zone defense has to counteract their poor red zone offense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It really
It
has
does.
to do it
Yeah,
that
they-
way. And Baltimore, I don't know what do they want to do with Lamar? They already offered him a $200 million.
He's lost a lot of money.
Guaranteed.
I don't think he's helped himself, Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
That's my point. I
He's
don't think
lost
he
a lot of
has.
money.
And he represents himself, so he deserves it.
Do you bring him back? How much do you?
I
do you
wouldn't. I
spend?
think Huntley's
would-
good, but that's Al does too. But he didn't look as good Sunday. But that was Denver, who has the best D in the league.
Here's my thinking now. I think the Baltimore has a better chance of beating the Steelers with Huntley at quarterback than they
the way
do
Jackson's playing,
Lamar.
he's been playing terrible.
Yeah, he's
But if
passing.
you don't let him run it, he's an average Joe passer.
Yeah, but that's
And they have no.
They have.
yeah.
Teams are on it.
Where's their deep threat?
Teams are on it now.
Where's
No,
their
they
deep
don't.
threat?
No.
He looks for Andrews.
Yeah, that's
every
right.
time.
Yeah,
So I look for the Steelers to crowd the line of scrimmage and dare them to throw deep, which I think they have an added dimension if Tyler Huntley's in there at
And
quarterback.
the other thing about Pittsburgh, say what you want. I've never seen a guy miss open guys by more, but he hasn't turned the ball over in 3
That's
games.
it. That's everything.
That's
Yeah.
crucial. Generally, in the NFL, the team that turns it over the fewest times wins the game.
Steelers beat Baltimore twice last year by 1 point and 2 points.
Yes,
That wouldn't
they
be
did.
surprised me. It
No,
happened
me either.
again. And Cleveland at Cincy, I just Cincy all the way. Too many weapons, and the Browns just they're just not clicking on offense. Haven't all year.
Watch that game, though. When those two, it's like
you
throw
never
the
know.
book out or
like
whatever.
Army Navy. I know.
Yes.
But what's really improved for Cincy is their defensive play.
Oh, yeah.
Much better.
And the offensive line, they protect him now.
Oh, much better. They've
Yep,
improved
yep,
since the beginning of the year. We go to our power rankings. I have the Eagles at the top, followed by the Bills, Cincy, Kansas City, the Vikings, the 49ers, 33-17 over Miami, and Jimmy G out for the year with a broken foot. How about this stat? With him, the 49ers are 38-17. Without him, they're 9-29.
He doesn't turn the ball over, and that's why with
Yeah.
that defense. That's the idea.
Can they win the NFC without him?
I don't think so. I really believe that.
Yeah, I would think at Philly or at
Brock
Dallas.
Purdy.
Now, if they get to play at home against Dallas, maybe, but they have to go Philly's home for sure.
Now Purdy did a good job coming in,
Yeah,
the
that's
rookie from
different,
Ohio
isn't
State. But now when
they're
he has to
prepare him
he's
Mr.
going to see
Irrelevant,
things.
by the way, Pete. He's the last guy picked.
Yeah.
The thing that I look at with them is, San Francisco's defense. They'll
good.
chase Tom Brady all over that field.
Very good.
Oh yeah. Dallas 9-3, followed by Miami. The Giants have reluctantly put Baltimore in there at number 10. I just don't see them as a playoff team, but they have one
And
of
the
best-
Giants, too. I think Washington and the Giants are going in opposite directions.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Very, very close. And Miami's still good at 8-4, although two have made some bad decisions
what Al
on
said.
Sunday. College football conference championship blowout, starting with Utah, 47-24 over USC. And I'm watching that game, and USC's up 17-3, and I say, man, this is going to be a rout. and they got outscored 44-7.
Yeah, it was a rout,
the
right.
rest of the way. Georgia 50, LSU 30 in the SEC. Michigan 43, Purdue 22 in the Big Ten. Clemson 39, North Carolina 10. The best game of them all was Kansas State 31
That was a good one.
to 28 over TCU. So the Final Four guys.
The ones you talked about, I gotta have to admit, I root against one of those teams a lot. Is Southern Cal. They have all the
30 transfers.
All the bling, all the bling.
They have
All the bling,
everything to win games,
Yeah.
and they continually rave about Lincoln Riley. He's like the Shanahan from. I want to know what he's wanting.
Nothing.
Yeah.
With the best personnel at Oklahoma,
Yeah,
with the
the
best
best.
personnel at Southern Cal.
He can't tackle anybody. And Mac Brown's a close second. He just doesn't have the resources. But this guy's team, I told him the other day.
He's been blown out
if
of
you-
Oklahoma.
If you say something about me, you say I'm dumb, whatever, I could live with it. If you say my team is soft, it
soft.
hurts. And they're both
But
soft.
didn't he get blown out in the playoffs before? He gave up 62
Yes,
points
yes.
to
No,
someone.
but they and I don't mind that if they said they need to work on defense.
Yeah.
They constantly say he's a genius.
Oh,
He's a genius.
They'll
They
think
got
it's
Addison move in, plus 21 other guys to come in.
30
and
players.
And they should have 30 more this year. They're going to get
They-
30 more. I'm going to see them win the
they gave
championship.
up 29 points a game this year.
I know.
Terrible.
I
On
know.
one of the worst
Did you-
defensive
I
teams
was
around.
embarrassed. After it was 17-3, it was 44-7.
44-7, guy. Now, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State, that's your Final Four. Did the committee get it right?
Yes.
I
think they
did too. And so it'll be Georgia versus Ohio State, the Dogs by 6.5. Michigan versus TCU. What's the spread there, George? By 8?
I'd say 9.5.
It's 9.5 right now.
Oh,
It is 9.5. George.
Now, everyone seems to think because Ohio State lost that second half blowout against Michigan that Georgia's going to walk all over them. I think that's a big mistake to look at it that way. I think they're going to come in ready to play.
I kind of see it that way too.
Albert says that. And the other day, a backup quarterback, they threw for 500 yards.
Yeah. Hey, Nick Saban in Alabama, tears on my pillow, all that whining coming out of Tuscaloosa. No complaints 5 years ago when they didn't even win their division, didn't even win the SEC, and they get in on the playoffs. So all they talked about, well, we lost the 1 point to LSU. Well, how about this? On a 2-point conversion we weren't ready for. What? What? Would you even say that?
No.
Would you even say that? And then we lost to Tennessee. But you gave up 50 points, 600 yards to them, 500 yards passing offense to LSU.
And in those big games, he had 10, 11 penalties in both games. That's the other thing. No one mentioned. Hey, and by the way, he said they were playing good down the stretch. Austin P was one of the games.
I'm just glad you brought it up, Eddie.
Yeah.
All the other shows.
I don't want to hear the crying.
They're bowing down. I want to call Nick Saban out right now. He's, this is embarrassing. He's
Nick-
won all
Nick's
these
the
championships,
politician.
and now he's crying.
Political.
Crying to get in. He should be saying our team's not good enough. Our team didn't play well enough. Instead, this team is one of the teams I like.
That's on me. 11 penalties.
Yeah.
That's on him.
I'm
When
so
they beat
upset with that.
Texas and Texas A&M, close games, they get aided by some controversial calls in those
But
games.
no one is calling him out.
no.
They bow down to him. On this show, we're not bowing down to anybody.
No, he's
Nick
wrong.
Saban deserves to be called out and say, hey, Nick, quit your crying. You won enough championships.
Who has
And
the top recruiting class?
every year.
Every
year, yes.
And now I hear some Alabama fans saying, well, we shouldn't even be playing Kansas State. Oh, I hope Kansas. They have no idea they're going to
We're all
play a
hoping
very
that. We're all hoping
physical.
that
Did you hear what happened? See, not knowing, he got on there begging, and he says, TCU has a loss to a lousy team. Well, that's who he's playing. He didn't
Well,
know
here's the
it.
other thing that's going to happen, though, and it's going to change the thoughts. Alabama's going to have 9 players not there.
Yeah, and then he'll say,
Yeah.
You know, Bryce Young's
And-
leaving.
and-
He's
yeah.
going to say, I'm not playing.
And what's the
As soon
old
as-
Alabama thing when they're not in the big
Excuses.
games? We didn't
Oh,
want to
I
be
know,
there.
I
Yeah,
know.
we don't want to be there.
Remember Utah
Yeah.
with them that year?
Oh, they
Yeah,
were,
oh, Utah
It was
with
21
Urban Meyer.
nothing before I got
Urban
hey,
Meyer.
it was 21 nothing. I was going to Geno's to watch it. It was 21-0 before
You were
I
happy when you
got
walked in
there.
there?
Didn't Ohio State clobber them one year?
Absolutely.
Didn't Clemson beat them
No, it's happened
44-17?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, local note bowl games: Pitt 8-4 versus number 18 UCLA 9-3 in the Sun Bowl. UCLA scored 40 or more points 8 times this year. The outstanding quarterback in Thompson Robinson,
DTR,
over
Thompson
10,000 yards.
Yep.
A running
They're soft,
back
too, though.
Charbonneau.
Oh,
They're soft.
They're soft
Oh,
too,
my.
but can you stop them?
It's hard to stop him.
Pitt's going to be without Kalijah Cansey. He's
Yeah,
out.
that hurts.
And quarterback Keaton Slovis, he's in transfer portal.
Get him out of there.
But here comes Phil Jakovic. He'll be the new
Who's going to
quarterback.
quarterback the Pitt in this bowl game, though?
That's be Nick Patty.
Patty's their bowl quarterback.
Yeah, he's their bullpen.
I think he's
And
pretty good, by
And
the
I'll tell you
way.
what else.
Yeah.
I said last night, say what you want, he'll put his shoulder down.
I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Narduzzi 1-5 in bowl games.
Give it again. I didn't hear it.
1-5 in bowl
1-5.
games.
Okay.
Uh,
They beat that MAC team at the buzzer, Eastern Michigan. I remember they almost
struggled to
lost
lose
to
that
that.
Yeah, 2 years
Yeah,
ago. That's the
yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
Now, with Jakovic coming to Pitt to reunite with his offensive coordinator, Frank Signetti, good move?
Great move for Jakovic. I mean, he landed on his feet because Pitt wants.
Right.
Pitt recruited him hard.
Yeah.
Pitt wanted him
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah, this
So-
rumor was been going on
Yes,
for weeks.
yeah.
Well, I knew it. I told you I was not allowed
You know what,
to say
Eddie,
it. I knew it at the Duke game, and I asked the Pitt insider.
What'd they say?
And he laughed at me. I
Okay,
said,
okay.
but she'd already told me Jakovic was coming when he laughed.
I don't think
When
there's
he
any
said
doubt.
that.
Someone's behind the scenes.
But don't they want to get out of school at some point?
New slogan.
doesn't he,
Well, I
how
think
old is
because he was nicked, he's 24. Because he was nicked,
Okay.
nicked up. But here's the thing.
He'll have a
I'm
big
rooting-
year. I love
I'm rooting for him. I
He
know.
He
gets
was
beat
good
up.
here.
He gets beat up on Twitter by Pitt fans. The 50,000 that don't show up for every game.
Yeah.
You know what? Why? What's he done? Did he
nothing.
deserve
That's what I'm
to be
saying.
criticized?
That's why I root
What
for
did
him.
he do wrong?
Hey, I watched him in high school beat that Philadelphia team when no one thought they could win.
Right.
I don't write him off.
And he did well his first year.
I don't know what happened.
at
He was
BC.
so good his first year.
Yeah.
He's so bad. I'm hoping it's injury.
Broke
That's
a
what I'm
thumb.
hoping. That's what I'm
Broken-
hoping.
Was it
And
a
you know,
broken
they
thumb
don't
and then a
protect
knee
him.
injury?
I watched Boston College against NC State with it.
The year he was good, his whole offensive line was back.
Yeah.
And then they
Has a
all
lot to do
left.
with it, right? Has
And
a
he
lot to do
lost
with
two running backs
Doesn't
to the
Pitt
NFL.
lose their offensive line? Or
They
am I
lose their
wrong?
offensive line, and guess where they are this year? They go to West Virginia, they go to Notre Dame, and they have Florida
Well, I hope
State.
Doozer understands how important the portal is. He keeps.
Yeah.
If he does a portal,
Yeah.
then Jacob's going to be hurt game 2. I mean, you got to go get offensive line now.
Absolutely. Hey, here's a game I'm really interested in watching the Rose Bowl. A great matchup: Penn State 10-2 versus Utah 10-3. Two physical, run-oriented teams, and this quarterback for Utah, Cam Rising, he's as tough as nails. This I think you see him take shots, he gets right back up. He's a
You
real.
see the day they knocked his helmet off.
I didn't
He
see
didn't
that.
have the buckles buckled up.
I didn't see
the
it.
helmet went about. I tell you what, I thought they knocked his head off.
And one of the best coaches in the country that no one talks about, Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
No one talks about
He's
the guy.
really good. He's really good.
He
we know.
could coach one of my team
We know how
anytime.
good he is.
Yeah, 154 and 73 there at Utah.
Yet he's there. He's not going anywhere.
Hey guys, and coming soon to iconic stadiums and banks everywhere, the 2024 football expanded playoffs to 12 teams, $450 million windfall in there.
You have to do it.
Thanks for bringing that up, Eddie.
A little bit about the
Thanks for
money,
bringing
huh?
because they're talking about all this and we care about the teams
Oh,
and we
they
care about when they heard how much money we got.
Yeah, $500 million.
We're going all in.
And I don't want to hear any complaints about the transfer portal and license fees because all this now these teams are going to have to. Some of them will play 16 games.
It's NFL schedule now.
Yeah, it's an NFL schedule. Teams 1 through 4 get a bye,
Yep.
and there'll be home games.
5, 12, 6, 11,
Yeah.
10, 7, 8, 9.
Home
Then
games.
the final 4.
Then
and the
you go to
bowls.
the iconic
Absolutely.
bowls. The Rose Bowl
Rose
was
Bowl
the last
gave them their
one
blessing last week.
to pull in, and it's just 4 or 12. I have no problem with 4. They want to go to 12, and you know the reason. It's the money. The TV networks are pushing
And
the
it really
deals.
pushes the SEC because they want more teams in. They think of the 12, they'll get 5. That's what they think.
They do too. They think
Yeah,
that way.
but other programs are going up there. And, here's the other thing about UCLA and Southern Cal moving to the
SEC.
Big Ten. Southern
Big Ten,
Cal has no problems doing it. They're a private school. UCLA needs approval by the Board of
They
Regents.
still not in yet?
No, they need approval. The Board of Regents could say, absolutely not. You're dealing with
interesting.
taxpayers' money and so on and so forth. We're not going to approve it.
Imagine
So
the
it's
cost.
not a done deal.
Imagine the cost of girls softball on a Wednesday afternoon, UCLA at Rutgers.
Yeah.
That multi-millions, what are close to billion, they'll be in that thing. They'll be in the Big Ten.
I'm guessing they
money
are,
would-
but
yeah.
you
I've
never
read-
know,
I've
you never
read
know
that.
how a political body's going to vote.
Yeah,
though.
and I've read that also that people out there don't feel that way. They don't want them going.
Well, I would think that. I would think that.
The Board of Regents has a
Money
final
rolls.
say
It's a
about
state
it.
school, right?
Yeah, state school,
That's right.
University of California at Los Angeles.
Right.
Coaching changes. Deion Sanders to Colorado. The Buffaloes 1-11. When Deion took over at Jackson State, he urged the players there when he first met with them, head for the transfer portal. I want my own players. He wins back-to-back league titles. Does he take his son
Absolutely.
with him?
He said he's bringing Louis Vuitton. He's not. He doesn't want that.
You know
roof.
what? He's old school. He's going to shake up the Buffaloes. They're going to dress up. They're going to behave the right way. He's going to get players there. I'm rooting
That's
for
why
him.
that's why they got
I'm
him.
rooting for him.
He's
Yeah.
got more players coming in than Colorado ever dreamed they could
Yeah.
get.
Did you hear him
No,
yesterday
no.
in that meeting? He
Yes.
told them.
Oh yeah, he's not messing around.
Hit the road.
He wants them out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants them out.
Yeah.
His kid will be the quarterback, right?
sure.
Shador.
Yeah.
He's already
He's
told
good.
him he's a
He's
quarterback.
very good. He's outstanding. I'm rooting for
How
him.
would you
to
feel if you're the quarterback in
change
the room when
coach.
he come on,
leave.
when he said,
Yeah.
and I said, I'm bringing the quarterback with me.
I listen to these guys on TV. They go, why would he go there to Buffalo 1-11? That's where you want to go. That's where you can
Plus he
build
got-
it
how
up.
much money, George?
Whoa. He made $300,000. He's making $6 million.
Yeah.
That might be reason.
And
to
it's
go.
the portal. See, Colorado would never win without that.
No.
But with the portal in play,
And with
right
him
away.
there.
he'll bring in 1 million players.
Yeah. Hey, Major League Baseball, the Baseball Hall of Fame Committee, they reject Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Kurt Schilling, the 16 members, the Hall of Famers. They only voted in Fred McGriff. You needed 12 votes to get in. Bonds, Clemens, and Schilling got fewer than 4.
So they
Your
didn't
thoughts?
have to count them. No, exactly. They don't want.
They don't
the
want
guys
to win.
that are
Those
in
are
there
the players.
Don't
Yeah.
want- yeah.
How about Danny Murtaugh? You get a chance yet?
I mean,
He
we're
goes
gonna
old
write them.
timers out.
He deserves
He
it.
has to come in old timers.
Okay.
And for the Pirates, all-star outfielder Brian Reynolds, he wants out. Him and 25 others. But they did sign another first baseman, 37-year-old Carlos Santana. So they're doing everything they can.
I don't think Pirates can get rid
to
of him.
stay in last place.
If the Pirates get rid of him, that means Cruz will say next. Guess what he's going to say? Trade me. And see, this set a precedent. It's a bad precedent for Pittsburgh.
Hey, that's it for us. We'll see you next week.